The A-list stars might get the attention, but they can't make movies alone. The supporting roles, often played by character actors, might not be household names, but the great ones can elevate a film or TV show just as much as the lead. The great ones also tend to show up seemingly everywhere. This is a list of those actors, the true but often overlooked pros in show business. Number 1, Robert Davi. You might know him as one of the Fratelli brothers in the cast of The Goonies, alongside another great character actor, Joe Pantoliano, or as one of the Agent Johnsons in Die Hard, but you definitely know Robert Davi. He usually plays a baddie, as he does as a henchman in the Timothy Dalton era James Bond flick License to Kill. Number 2, CCH Pounder. Whether it's a serious movie like Prizzy's Honor or an over-the-top movie like Face Off, CCH Pounder, whose full name is Carol Christine Hilaria Pounder, is always a welcome addition to any cast. She is a chameleon in her roles, something she continues to be even in the 2020s. In the 80s and 90s, she was all over film and TV with shows as varying as 227, Miami Vice, and ER, among many, many others. Our girl is booked and busy. Number 3, Carol Kane. Carol Kane is one of the funniest actors in Hollywood, and that ensured she always had important roles in a ton of movies, like playing the Miracle Max's wife Valerie in The Princess Bride and the hilarious Ghost of Christmas Past in Scrooged alongside Bill Murray. Whether it was Murray or Billy Crystal or whomever, she can go toe-to-toe with some of the best comedic actors of all time. Number 4, Paul Gleason. If you mess with the bull, you'll get the horn, as Paul Gleason, as Assistant Principal Vernon in The Breakfast Club, famously quotes. And even though he never won any awards for his acting endeavors, he was still a staple feature on the Hollywood scene in the 80s. Although he's probably most recognized for his role in The Breakfast Club, he's also well known as part of the wonderful cast in Die Hard, as well as playing Mr. Beeks in Trading Places. Sadly, Gleason passed away way too young at 67 in 2006. Number 5, Edie McClurg. While she's best known as the secretary in Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Edie McClurg is true legend, who's been in many movies. In the 80s, it seemed like she popped up in literally every comedy, including Mr. Mom and Back to School with Rodney Dangerfield. But maybe her funniest appearance is as the rental car agent at the airport in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, who has had enough of Neil Page, Steve Martin. Number 6, John C. McGinley. While he found his biggest success in the cast of Scrubs in the 2000s, John C. McGinley has been working hard in Hollywood for decades, mostly as a comedic character actor. Before Scrubs, he was best known for playing one of the Bobs in Office Space. He was also excellent in early dramatic roles in 2 Oliver Stone classics, Wall Street and Platoon. Number 7, Penny Johnson. Gerald is probably best known today for playing Sherry Palmer on 24, but in the 80s and 90s, she was everywhere on TV. She had bigger roles on The Larry Sanders Show and Star Trek, Deep Space Nine, and she made dozens of appearances on other shows as well, in shorter stints. Number 8, Olympia Dukakis. Many years into her career, Olympia Dukakis got some of the attention she richly deserved when she won the Oscar for Best Supporting Actress for her role in Moonstruck. Both before and after that role, she was a character actor with incredible range in movies like Death Wish, Look Who's Talking, and Mr. Holland's Opus. Number 9, Diane Wiest. You might not think of Diane Wiest as a character actor, as she has 2 Oscars to her name, which is rarefied air, but just shows how amazing she is at disappearing into characters. From Footloose to Hannah and her sister to Bullets Over Broadway, the latter 2 of which she won her Oscars for, she's been killing it for decades. And last but not least, number 10, Bill Cobbs. Bill Cobb's career started in the early 70s, but it was in the 80s and 90s when he became ubiquitous in movies. In the 80s, he had supporting roles in Trading Places, The Cotton Club, The Color of Money, Bird, and many others. In the 90s, you might have spotted him in Demolition Man, New Jack City, The Hudsucker Proxy, Things to Do in Denver When You're Dead, and That Thing You Do, among others as well. His acting resume is basically as long as my Costco shopping list. And there you have a list of hardworking actors that don't get the attention of the big stars, but are every bit as talented and dedicated to their craft. Comment below any other 80s or 90s faves that you think need more acknowledgement.